the very oldest language on the face of this earth. Chico the Kabia putting in Chineke and son of the winner of Isla, Nina in a Cosa House of Yanina Jama, and Yanaga Faros, Obanana, all beyond the then saw no one Because you will make a difference with your source and we're not going to but you know what? They would like you to believe that America is the cause of it. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not possible. I have come. Look what you do. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what happens in 5 years to come. Thank you. The very oldest language on the face of this earth. Chico the Kabia putting in Chineke and son of the winner of Isla, Nina in a Cosa House of Yanina Jama, and Yanaga Faros, Obanana, all beyond the then saw no one because you will make a difference with your source and we're not going to But you know what? They would like you to believe that someone is the cause of it. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not. I have come. Look with you. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what I have to do in 5 years to come. Thank you.
So you keep on supporting evil in the zoo, the more your land will be taken from you. The more your daughters will be raped and abducted, the more your sons will be slaughtered in cold blood. And under one Nigeria, there is nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Because one idiot that they groomed will rise up and say to you, oh no, it's one Nigeria, there is crime everywhere. Haven't you heard about Zamfara? Haven't you heard about Katsina? There is crime everywhere. That is not the case. The crimes you have in the north, the insecurity you have in the north is as a direct consequence of their own action. They grouped them. Al-Qaeda in the Nigeria, ISIS in West Africa, Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, bandits, all of them. Who brought them to Nigeria? It's Fulani. Fulani brought them into Nigeria. El-Rufai brought them in. Why did the government brought them in? Are you deaf and dumb and stupid when you come out and where would the boundary of Biafra begin? And I asked the food, where did the boundary of Nigeria begin? People from Niger come in and go as they like. Most of these idiots are from Niger. They are building a pipeline to Niger. They are building a railway line to Niger. They are building roads to Niger. Whereas where the money comes from, which is Biafra land, we don't have those infrastructure. No, we don't. But you're taking our money. You come to you come to Ohaji, you come to Ebeba, you come to Aguleri, you come to Ebo, you take our resources, sell it, get the money, and now you're building the way to Nigeria, and you want me to be happy with you. Clap for you, Nigeria. One Nigeria. I think you are insane. You come to my land, you take our oil, you take our gas, you take our manpower, you take everything, our VAT, our tax, everything. You are now building a road from Katsina to Niger. Airport. Refinery. You take oil, put oil from my land, you take it to Niger, you refine it, you bring it back to me as a refined petroleum. And you're telling me that country is viable. You're telling me that Nigeria should be supported. You are in one Nigeria. You're not going anywhere and you're dying every day. Because those that they appointed to speak for you, so that they will come out, produce of the newspaper to give the world giving the impression that everything is okay. When things are go and see the contradictions in it. Nigeria is not working. We we are marginalized, and then you come back to say Nigeria is one, you must stay in it together. Are you not foolish? These are the useless intellectuals that you have. On one hand, you say Nigeria is not one, you're marginalized, you are being discriminated against, you're suffering, they're killing you everywhere, and you come back to the same place and say Nigeria must be one. Had Nigerians gotten together to say they want to be part of this useless contraption, that's entirely their business. So I'm a Democrat, I'm subscribed to it. But have you asked yourself this question? Why is it that all those asking you to remain in one Nigeria has something to gain from Nigeria, or they have benefited in the past? Nothing more, nothing less. I saw the letter that Biafra wrote to President Biden. In it, Biafra said, come and help us fight terrorism in order to ensure that there will be no regional destabilization. That is their game plan at the U.S. State Department for very many years, until we stepped in. They keep trotting out these lies. Once Nigeria breaks up, there will be destabilization in the entire region. I said that because you don't understand African history. Most of these people are not people. When I say it, they say, oh, so I'm insulting them. No, I'm not insulting you. Most of them are people. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. We always go back to our village where we are born, where our umbilical cord, how long, where it was buried. That's where we come from. That is why every Christmas, Easter, New Year festival, or August meeting, you see us migrating back to where we come from. And I keep saying these things to Africans, they don't understand it. They don't understand it. Everywhere in Africa during Christmas, if you like, be in South Africa, if you like, let it be in Kenya, you let it be in Rwanda, everybody from the capital goes to the village. If you go to Accra, the same thing happens. This past Christmas, if you like, go to Cotonou.
Our Father who art in heaven, none that your name may be hallowed by men, that we may bow at the mention of it, that we may offer every glory unto thee, that we may offer you every adoration and adulation.
To pray in the language of heaven, the very oldest language on the face of this very earth. Chukwu okike abịa mapụrụ m ihe niile, Chineke na onye ndị nsọ na-efe wee na-akpụ isi ala nye onye anyị na-agọzi aha nsọ ya mgbe niile, onye anyị na-aja mma wee na-eto, anyị enweghị iche ọzọ ewezuga gị. Anyị anaghị efe arụsị, ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye kere ihe niile kere eke, mana onweghị onye kere ya. Ọ bụ ya mere ndị Igbo ji wee na-etu gị ebighị ebi. Ndị nsọ na-agba oche eze gị okirikiri, ha na-akpụ isi ala nye gị, ọbụladị ndị okenye oru 2 na 4 bụ ndị na-atụ mkpọ ọla edo na ala, ha niile si na-ede nsọ Chineke nna nke igwe. N'ụtụtụ a, ehihie, abalị, n'ụwa niile bụ ebe ụmụ gị gbasasịrị ka ụkpaka nna nke ebere dị ngọzi, ka anyị na-akpọkọta ha eze ebube n'ime eluigwe, wee na-arịọ gị mma gị na ebere gị, amara gị na ọmịiko gị ebe ndị gị nọ. Anyị wee na-arịọ ka iru gị wee chaa n'ebe anyị nọ. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị eze ebube dị ngọzi, ka i wee tinye ọgbaghara n'etiti ndị iro, ka ha rabụ ndị kụziri ka ha wee megide anyị, onye nwe m na Chineke nna dị nsọ, ka aka nsị ndị dị etu a wee baa ha ọnụ, ije obodo ekwensu bụ zuu wee laa ya n'iyi. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị, onye na-adịgide ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi, biko nụ ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ọsọ ọsọ nna nke ebere na ụmụ gị atakwala n'ahụhụ. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị iwe na anyị ezi echiche na amamihe, mmekọrịta nwanne na nwanne, ịdị n'otu ọganiru, ịhụnanya nke pụrụ iche, onye nwe m na Chineke nna, ka i wee tinye ụmụ gị ezi mmụọ nke eziokwu, ma wezuga anyị aka ajọ ihe n'ime ndụ anyị nna nke ebere dị ngọzi. Ka ọ ga-abụ na ikpeta mazị na Biafra ga-abịa, anyị ga-aja gị mma wee too gị, wee gọzie aha nsọ gị, kpee isi ala nye gị, bulie aha nsọ gị elu site n'ebighị ebi mara n'ebighị ka a na-arịọ gị. Ise ise ise. This very morning, all of you, I believe that those who are watching know who we are and why we do what we do. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra all over this very planet Earth, the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television, and by the very special grace of the Most High Elohim, Chukwu Kikabia Mapurumi Henine, servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. We are live and we are direct this very morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are. And we start this very day by making it abundantly clear that the greatest enemy of a black man is the way that we reason. If not that the way we reason is very, very abhorrent, There is no need or reason why we should be suffering and complaining every blessed day without the courage to do something about it. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that no court in Nigeria has jurisdiction to try me. Because since this offense was committed in England, so they said, it's only a UK court that can give a Nigerian court the authority to proceed, isn't it? Based on that, they now amended the charge again. I removed London. Location of the broadcast. Contrary to section 196?
174 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2022.
In violation of their own laws. In violation of their own laws. And you want me to stand trial under such circumstances? Is that possible? Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial where these shenanigans are going on? It's not possible. Anybody standing in trial or coming to try me is a terrorist. That's what they are not saying. Not me.
As simple as that.
Section 2, subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. That's what it says. Any court considered to try me is committed an act of terrorism.
Yes.
Very clear. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then come to try that very person. It's not done anywhere in the world. So you must be aware of that. So that is why there is all these ridiculous delays. That is what Supreme Court said. I did not jump bail. My home was invaded. They came to kill me and I survived. They came to Kenya to kidnap me, brought me back to this country and seeking to try me, which the law says cannot happen. You cannot violate a treaty that the entered into and then hope to stand on that illegality. To conduct a trial is not done anywhere in the world. And you wonder why God cost you. What justice means. You have no idea what justice means. You don't know what justice means. Useless. You cannot find anybody unless the law is written. Show me the law. Show me the law. I want you to talk to me. Show me the law. Don't try that. Don't try it. Don't try it. Don't try that rubbish. Useless people. You don't know law. You don't know law. Your own constitution you don't respect. Supreme Court's judgment you don't respect. Then why we in a court? Why we in a court of law? You are blaming. At all cost, it is the land of God, given to his children for their eternal habitation. We may have failed in the past to recognize this very fact, but now that this generation has come, there is nothing anybody can do to stop us from restoring the kingdom of God upon the face of this very earth in the land of Biafra, without apologies to anybody. The Fulani approach to the zoo called Nigeria is called the devil's alternative. Fulani, they have this two-pronged approach to the issue of one Nigeria. If they collapse you through banditry, they will overrun you because they believe they have superior weaponry. Right now, and all of them are in this game together. That's number one. If you sue for peace, which idiots like Omahi are doing, if you sue for peace, they will also get what they're looking for because they will plant Ruga in every local government area. The devil's alternative, whichever option you choose, men are going to die. Men will die. It doesn't matter the option you choose. If you wait for them to do things peacefully, which they will never do, they are going to kill you anyway because they'll be Ruga. And you allow them to forcibly take over your land, you are taken over, they will take it by force. And Fulani will plant their people in your local government areas. That in the next 100 years, you'll be hearing about Olo Emirates. and then we'll be like Hausa people. Our grandchildren will now ask their parents, what happened? They will tell, oh no, there was somebody called Hope Uzodinma. He was playing politics. He loved Nigeria. There was one called Umahi. He loves Fulani. He used to be our brother. But then we are gone. As a race, we are finished. And I said to these fools, Fulani Caliphate is dealing with you people, but you don't know it. They are like the vulture. Nigeria is pregnant. If Nigeria dies during the pregnancy, they benefit. Nigeria gives birth to the Aruga, which they want, a new Nigeria, which they want, is also to their benefit. The only people aiding and abetting them are these quislings, the fulefus from the East, intellectuals, and sophisticated morons from the West.
Ojukwu negotiated restructuring. What happened?
They came back and they said no.
Ojukwu said, okay, so you want to continue to kill my people all over the place? No. Because of that, I'll declare Biafra.
Today, they have brainwashed all of you with the perverse notion and thinking that somehow Ojukwu is responsible for causing a war, when opposite is the case. That Gowon was the aggressor, not Ojukwu. That's how Nigeria is. Always blaming the victim. And we lost over 5 million people during that very genocidal war. They killed over 5 million Biafrans. They wanted to wipe us away from the face of this very earth. But we survived it. And we are here today. Those they gave birth to, they have come, and this time with a wrath that you cannot even begin to imagine. And
what we are pursuing is a part of pressure, relentless pressure, to ensure that Biafra comes. How are we going to employ that pressure? There are only two ways to get your freedom in the history of the whole world. Freedom can be gotten only two ways. One is through the ballot box. In other words, people will contest and they will have Biafra Nationalist Party. Yes, as they have in Scotland. And then we vote for them. When they then go to the house or maybe go to Abuja, they will say, we are here under the mandate of Biafra Nationalist Party. Because of that, we want to go and conduct a referendum in order for us to be free. The other way, you fight. Either you go through the ballot box or you fight. Which option are we choosing? We have chosen to fight.
We, the Biafrans, call the Finnish authorities to release Mazi Simon Ekpa immediately. Our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Joko, has not committed any offense. Therefore, we demand for his immediate release. Free Mazi Simon Ekpa and free him now. No hand must stop Mazi Simon Ekpa from exercising his duty as a free man. Free Mazi Simon Ekpa.
For those of you who do not understand what we are doing, we are fighting for our freedom. And I believe that everyone in this life and in this world, wherever where you are, the country where you reside in, have a history. Now, I want every one of us here today and those who will listen to this particular speech to note one very important fact. Nigeria state came into being through conquest. This is a fact that nobody can change. Nigeria came into existence through conquest. And the forceful imposition of foreign rule, which denied the indigenous people in Niger area the opportunity to negotiate and choose what they wanted. That is the problem. We have lived with this foreign rule and this forceful union for decades, over 100 years. That is the problem. Now, I want everyone listening to me today to also understand that after this forceful union of Nigeria called the amalgamation, successive regime, both before and after the shambolic independence, continue to hold the state together in a similarly forceful manner, the same pattern and the methodology that the conquest and invasion and the colonizers came in with. They thought by the forceful and the barrels of the gun, they will continue to kill people for the unity of Nigeria. That also is the problem today. So, this impression that they are creating, that the country must remain as crafted from the amalgamation by the colonialists, and that this country called Nigeria unity is non-negotiable. That is also the problem. We have lived from centuries to century, and today we are in the era of 21st century. We are now in a global village where the things of the past and the things of the old are changing to become new. And they don't want to change Nigeria with the dangerous diversity that have now emanated from different angles and the different injustices and corruption, and now Nigeria has found itself to become an Islamic state. That is the problem.
In the zoo will be set free. I said everybody in bondage in the zoo will be set free. I don't hate anybody. I don't despise anybody. If I mention your ethnicity or your tribe, if I am a bit hard on them, know that I am specifically referring to those of them that they call their leaders, those who have led us this very blind alley, this very blind path, those of them that will continue to deceive, those that will continue to lie, those that will continue to prevaricate, those that cannot deliver any measurable or tangible developmental indices at all, in any way, shape, or form. We have come that the blind may see, not in the way they do it within Pentecostalism, but we have come to impart knowledge and reason. The very oldest language on the face of this very earth.
Yes, I can say that from what I have just listened from you, it is just not ordinary.
Very wonderful. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that
Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for joining us on this, our morning program. I appreciate every one of you that has connected to this program wherever you are connecting from. If you are joining us from Europe, America, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Asia, you are joining us from China, from Russia, from Israel, you are joining from Biafra land, from any part of the world where you are joining us, we welcome you and we appreciate you for being part of us. If you are watching on TikTok, you are watching us on Facebook, or you're watching on YouTube where I'm hosting the program, you are a special guest. I welcome you and I thank you for being part of the program. As you join us on this platform, please kindly like and share the program. Share to family and friends, share to those who are close to you, share even to our enemies. Maybe they will have a change of heart, or maybe they will hear us and they will come, and then we can argue words out. It is important we continue to push this information out. Remember, one of the assignments we have as Biafrans is to engage in radical evangelism. Every one of us should be part of this message, be part of the evangelism. Speak up, speak out wherever you are. And when we say you should speak up and speak out, speak the truth, not propaganda, not blackmail, not attack to anybody. Speak the truth always. Try as much as you can to speak the truth, regardless what the situation might be, regardless who is concerned. Make sure you are always standing on the truth, because it is only with the truth we can overcome. The enemies that we are fighting are much, much, much more stronger. They have all the forces by their side. They have all the money. They have all the connections. But what do we have? The only thing we have on our side is Chukwu Okike himself, the gods of our land, the truth. That is all we have. And remember, one with God is majority. That is why you must always stand on the truth. Because when Chukwu Okike is in your side, the only way you can continue to stand relevant, the only way you can win and continue to maintain the presence of Chukwu Okike on your side is by truth. Speak the truth always. Speak the truth. Just like we are calling out the Zoological Republic, the contraption. In calling them out, we base our argument on the truth. We expose them based on truth, not on propaganda, not on blackmail. That is why most times we play videos that are coming from the conventional media, so that it will be more convincing for those who think that in social media we come to make up stories. We don't make up stories. We say it the way it is with the information that is before you. So many of this information are before you, but sometimes people fail to pay attention. People ignore these informations, but we will not ignore. On our own side, we will always make sure we bring forth these informations to your doorstep in a language that you will understand. That is what we do. So whatever we are saying or we are doing here is based on facts, with evidence and truth. Most importantly, on truth. So wherever you are joining us on this platform, remember, in this very platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We don't come to this platform to preach hate. We do not come here to attack anybody. We don't come here to attack any man or woman or any group. What we do in this platform is to promote humanity. We do not come here to attack any race or religion. We only come here to present Biafra to the world as the only remedy to the failed state Nigeria. That we have been doing for many decades now, and we will continue to do. Until the world pays attention and disintegrates this very contraption that is about to explode, we will continue to speak. It doesn't matter whether people are listening, whether they are listening or not, we will continue to speak our word will bear us witness. Because Chukwu Okike is watching. He's watching every one of us. Whatever we do, whatever we say, whatever action we take, he is watching and he will bear us witness. So wherever you are watching us from, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Okike to please kindly help us to like the program, help us to share the program, do your own part, and allow Chukwu Okike to do his own part. We will continue to speak our mind. We will continue to say things the way it is, regardless what people feel. Sometimes we are going to offend you. Sometimes it will go your way. Whenever the message offends you, if you can't handle it, all you need to do is to log out. When it suits you, stay there. But if you have patience enough, if you are very patient, stay there. Whether it suits you or not, you can learn a thing. And I encourage you to use the link, come in and put up your superior argument whenever you do not agree. Very, very important. When you don't agree with us, bring up your superior argument so that we can be able to sort it out. The whole world will be watching. Biafrans will be watching. Lovers of freedom across the world will be watching and observing. So they can be able to call the result for themselves and be also able to take decisions. Whatever we say or do here will be able to shape how people think about issues or how people take their decisions. And that is why we are here. We are not here to force anybody to believe anything, force you to throw away your own opinion. No, we're not here to gag you, but we are here to guide you and to help you make a solid decision. Because for every single decision we make in life, there will always be a repercussion. There is consequence to every single decision you make. It does not matter what that decision is, there is always a consequence. So that is why when you are making a decision, make that decision because you have made your own inquiry and you are convinced. Don't make a decision because somebody told you, somebody said, because of your friend, your brother, your colleague, or somebody you love. No, make a decision because it is something you have looked through and you found out that it's worth it. So whenever you reach that conclusion, go ahead and make your decision, regardless what the people are saying. Everybody must not like your opinion. People must not buy into your idea. But at the same time, all I say is that if you are deeply convinced, because every one of us have common sense in us, and every one of us that is of age, we know what is good and what is bad. The only people that cannot differentiate between good and evil are those who their conscience are dead. We know there are people that their conscience are dead. They can no longer differentiate between good and evil. But they are very few. For those ones, it is not our duty to change them. It is not our duty to change them. We are here for those who have conscience. So when we speak, they will go back, think and think again, and then make their decision on the path to go. So I appreciate everyone that have connected. And this morning, being Saturday weekend, I wish every one of you a very happy weekend. It is a weekend. I know many people will be very busy. It is a weekend on a holiday season, a festive season, Christmas period. Also, I wish all of you advance Merry Christmas. Those Christians that are with us, I wish you Merry Christmas in advance. As we are preparing for Christmas, wherever you are, you must be very careful. Mind what you do, mind where you go. If there is need for you to go travel somewhere, go ahead. If there's no need, please stay where you are. More especially for those who are in Biafra land and those who might be trying to go to Biafra land. If there is a very important need for you to go ahead. But if there is no important program or need for you to be there, stay where you are for security reasons. It is very important. Life matters. As long as you are alive, you have many Christmas to celebrate ahead. There are many Christmas to come to celebrate. What matters today is how to save life. That is the only thing that matters to us today. How to save life and protect, secure our people. Make sure that none of us is missing as the year is coming to an end. Those of us who have made it up to this time, we will all say goodbye to 2025. In few days, we'll say goodbye to 2025 and we'll enter into 2026, a new age. My prayer is that every single one of you here that is watching me, wherever you're watching, we will make it into the new year. So today we are taking a topic to discuss, and the topic says Biafra, the only remedy. Nigeria's real problem is not poverty. It is state-sponsored corruption. Nigeria real problem is not poverty. You know, sometimes they carry this, even so poverty, when they talk about terrorism, they say poverty, they call poverty, they call this. They blame poverty for everything. It is not poverty. It is not. The state-sponsored corruption that is going on in Nigeria, the state-sponsored corruption is the major problem. And it did not start yesterday. It started all the way from the British. This state-sponsored corruption started all the way from the British, from the time of amalgamation to independence until date. That is the real problem, not poverty. And we always say that Biafra remains the only remedy. It doesn't matter whether you agree with us or you don't agree. It doesn't change anything. We will continue to say it the way it is. And for those who care and those who want to listen, they will listen. More especially the international communities that are watching too, because today, every eye is on Nigeria. So it is important that we talk about these issues and bring this information out for those who are confused. Just like the other day when I saw a program online where people were protesting on behalf of Nigerian government. They gave them placard to protest against Christian genocide. These are not Nigerians. These are foreigners who know nothing about Nigeria. They don't know what is going on, but they were hired to protest, and they were protesting. Even when questions were posed to them, they couldn't answer. Search your conscience before you support any move. It doesn't matter. We know you need the money. We know you need something to support yourself, but there are certain kinds of money you must not take. Blood money. Don't get yourself involved in it. When the life of a human being like yourself is involved. So many get involved unknowingly. So many get involved intentionally. So many get involved out of greed. If you are getting involved unknowingly, mistakenly, this message is for you. These are the people that is making us to come online on a daily basis to preach this gospel and speak, so that those who are not aware of what is happening in Nigeria will be aware. It is important. We know that the Nigerian government deals on propaganda and blackmail. And the only way we can be able to face them is our constant and consistent messages. When we speak, even if it is one person that is letting, that one person will tell another person, that person will tell another person, that one will tell another person. And before you know it, it will spread out. It is important. For every single message we deliver every day, it can save a life. And you don't know what it means to save one life. It means a lot. To save one life means a lot. So that is why we cannot stop. No matter how difficult it is, you cannot stop. Even if it is one life that is being saved, it is a thing of joy. So this morning, wherever you are watching from across the world, today's message is not comfortable one. Today's message is not comfortable. That's why I say that most times when you come here, you are going to hear things you don't want to hear. Things they don't want you to hear. Very uncomfortable. Sometimes the message will hit you like a thunderstorm. So today's message is not comfortable. More especially for the fraudulent ones. For the one Nigerianist. Today's message is not comfortable one. Today's message is not polite either. This is not one of those polite messages where we beg, we cry. No. It's not. Today's message is not. Today's message is not about lie, propaganda, and blackmail. It is the truth. The truth that Nigeria does not want you to hear. Those truths that the Zoological Republic does not want you to hear. They are what we are here today to speak about. And we will continue to talk about them. Unrelenting. No matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody does, we will continue to speak about them and talk about them. The truth and nothing but the truth. That is why we are here. Even though the world don't want to hear the truth. Nigeria don't want the truth to come out. But that will not stop us from speaking the truth. And those truths are that Nigeria is not poor. That contraption they call Nigeria is not poor. That contraption area they call Nigeria, that very location, is not unlucky. That area you see is not at cost, as they say. It's not caused by God Himself. People brought curse upon themselves. The country brought curse upon itself. The country brought curse upon itself. It's not caused. That contraption called Nigeria is corrupt by design. Nigeria is corrupt by design. This is something that everybody should always remember. Whenever you try to say you want to look for a better Nigeria, you want to work for a better Nigeria, you want Nigeria to work, I want you to also understand that Nigeria is designed to be corrupt. Nigeria is designed to fail. Nigeria is designed to have insecurity. Nigeria is designed to have disunity. So there is nothing you can do to change this thing that Nigeria is designed to fulfill. And that is why when you see us call for the end to that contraption, it is because of this. We know that the foundation and the design of that contraption is evil. It was not designed to succeed. It was not designed to protect its people. It was not designed for unity. So what do? What you have to do is to destroy that design and re-establish a new one. And that is what we are up to. When we are talking about disintegration, that very contraption where people were brought together against their wish, forced into one entity, under false pretense and lies, with false statistics and figures, that should be destroyed and thrown to the dustbin where it belongs. It should be trashed. Let every region go back to where they are. And then, if they decide to come back and write a constitution based on their own agreement. That is all we're asking for. A redesign, because Nigeria is designed to be corrupt. Nigeria is designed to be a terrorist country. That is why, even as much as we appreciate the United States and the effort they are making, we appreciate Donald Trump and the effort he's making, yet much cannot be achieved without dismantling that very entity called Nigeria. Much cannot be achieved. And until we confront the origin, the source and purpose of that very corruption called Nigeria, terrorism and insecurity will never end. The whole world today is talking about genocide in Nigeria. Terrorism is the order of the day. Insecurity has gone to the highest level. But I want to tell you that until the origin the source and purpose of the corrupt system and corrupt Nigeria is confronted. Until the origin, the source, the purpose is confronted, you can never solve the terrorism in Nigeria, and you can never solve the insecurity. When we call for the end to the zoo, it is a genuine call. It is not born out of hate. It is not born out of greed. It is born out of concern, necessity to save human life. If you are ready for the truth, stay with us on this program. You're going to hear the truth. If you are not, the broadcast is not for you. This broadcast is only for those who are willing and ready to confront the truth, no matter how bitter it is. Let us begin at the root, because corruption in Nigeria did not start with today's politician. The corruption you see in Nigeria, it did not start today. Not with this politician you are seeing. The corruption you are seeing in Nigeria began with colonial rule. From the British, that is the original. When you had last time, when one of the British prime minister said that Nigeria is fantastically corrupt, he knows what he's saying, because it is the British that plays that fantastic corruption. It is British that established that fantastically corrupt system. So when they accuse you of being fantastically corrupt, they know what they are saying. The corruption in Nigeria began with colonial rule. Nigeria was not created as a nation. It was created as a business project. The British did not come to build institutions. These are facts that people, those idiots that call themselves politicians today, fail to recognize. Those who call themselves one Nigerianists and continue to support the system, these are the truths that they fail to confront. That the British did not come to build institutions in Africa. Not in the contraption they created. They did not come to build institutions. They came to extract resources and control the people. That was the main purpose of the British coming into that location they called Nigeria. The reason the British entered into that location was to extract the resources and to control the people. So in order to control and extract the people, they put in place what you are seeing today. The system, the fraud you are seeing today, they planted it. The divide and rule, they put it in place so that they can be able to extract resources and control the people. And for decades, for decades now, they have been there, extracting the resources. Even when they claim they gave you independence, this extraction continues. The control continues. It is not hidden, but subtle. The control is very visible, only that some of us turn a blind eye to the control. You don't ask yourself, why is it that your president has to go to Chatham House to speak before he or she becomes a president? You don't ask yourself, why is it that you need to get an approval from the West before you become a president? So they designed a system where loyalty was rewarded, not competence. This is one of the major things the British put in place in Nigeria. This system is what Nigeria is still running, and they will continue to run until the next decade. Until they are no more. Nigeria will continue to reward loyalty, not competence. And in that situation, you can never create the best. You can never see the best in position. It is only about loyalty. This is the system that was put in place by the colonial masters. Loyalty was rewarded, not competence. It doesn't matter how brilliant you are. It doesn't matter how competent you are. They are concerned about those who are loyal to them. That is why they will support a drug baron to be a president. They will support a certificateless man, a man that has no certificate, to become a president. They will support a great-grandfather to become a president in Africa. They don't care. For as long as that person is willing to sell his soul and be loyal, it is about loyalty. They will reward you, not competence. This is a design that they put in place. They did not come to build institution to create a nation. No, that wasn't their intention. As long as the person will be ready to allow them extract the resources as much as they can and put their people in control, they are good to go. Control was valued, not accountability. From the time of colonial rule, only control was valued, not accountability. Power flowed from the top, never from the people. That system during the colonial master is still what is in place today. Power flows from the top. That is why the president of Nigeria is the strongest president in the whole world. The president of Nigeria is the strongest president in the whole world that can take life and do anything, throw your constitution away and take any decision without consulting anybody. No other president in the world can do that in their country. No other president in the world that can do that in their country without being checkmated. Only Nigerian presidents have the power to undo, to do and undo. Power flows from the top, never from the people. It's not derived from the people. That is the system you see in Nigeria today. That is why your vote is meaningless. The vote you cast is nonsense. At the end of the day, Abuja will choose who represents you, who becomes your governor, who becomes your senator. It's dependent on Abuja, on those who are loyal, on those who can control, not on accountability, not on competence. Corruption became the operating manual for governance. During the colonial master, during the colonial era, the colonial rule, corruption became the operating manual for governance. That was how Nigeria was run during the time the British were there. Sometimes today, when you hear Nigerians are corrupt, this corrupt state, it is not that they just wake up and become corrupt. This is a system that was put in place by the colonial master, the British. They are the one that put in place this corrupt system. But when you see them lament about corruption, you would think as if they are not concerned. They put it in place because it serves their interest. It makes the extortion of mineral resources continuous. It subjects the people under slavery to them. Corruption, the operating manual of governance. That is what you see in Nigeria. When the British left, they did not dismantle this system. After they were there, the British there did everything they did with that system. They did not dismantle it all. Remember, that system was not for a nation. It was for a company, to run their company, to make sure they have control. It was to run their company, make sure they have control over their company. But it happened that when they were leaving, At the time they claimed to have given you independence and freedom, they did not dismantle a system they put in place to extort, to enslave. They did not dismantle it. They did not dismantle that operational manual of governance, that corruption that became the operational manual of governance. They did not dismantle it. They left that system. And on that system, they built what they call Nigeria today, that they are referring as a nation. Do you now understand why corruption can never, ever, ever be removed? The only way to fight corruption in Nigeria is to end Nigeria. Nothing less, nothing more. They handed it over to local elites, trained to rule the same way. What the British did was that they handed over to local elites. They handed over to local elites. That was why you see, immediately even after the so-called independence, there was no unity anywhere. Nobody made any effort to unify. Ahmadu Bello was still busy focusing on the north, attacking the Biafrans. Awolowo was focused on his own side. While Dr. Nnamdi was deceiving himself, gallivanting himself as a president. They handed it over to local elites, trained to rule the same way, the same fraud, the same corrupt system. That is what they left. They didn't dismantle it. All they did was to hand it over, carry the script and gave to the Janjaweed. The Fulani Janjaweed were given that script. And Ahmadu Bello played that script very well. That was why he was busy attacking the Biafrans. That was why Ahmadu Bello said that they will never employ anybody from the south, the Igbo person. Instead of them to take anybody from the Igbo side or the south, they will take a foreigner. They are going to take a foreigner instead of taking somebody. A foreigner comes first before the citizens of the country. And even if they decide to choose any citizen, it will be on contract, just as they have taken Tinubu on contract today. And Tinubu is doing their bidding. Remember, Nigeria was handed over to local elites. Those local elites are the Fulani Caliphate. Don't mix it up. If anybody, don't miss it. This is a raw truth that is bitter. It is a bitter truth, but we must tell it. That is why today, the only place politics of Nigeria lies is in the north. They will tell you that north will decide who becomes the president and who does not become a president. It is not just a joke. It is not just they are saying it because they want to say it. It is a fact. It is a fact based on the structure that was handed over to them. Based on the system that was handed over to them, it is only the north that will decide who becomes who. They handed it over to the local elites, trained to rule the same way the colonial master ruled. You saw in that video of Master Simon Ekpa I used to play, where he mentioned what the problem is. The major problem is that Nigeria is still running the system of the colonial master to hold the people captive and force them against their will to do things. That is why today they tell you that referendum is not in their constitution. Even though they know that you don't need to have referendum in your constitution for you to conduct it. You don't need to have it there. But because they choose to continue to follow that manual given to them by the British, to subjugate the people and allow them to continue to extract resources without transparency, without responsibility, without consequences. That is the foundation of the corruption you see in Nigeria today. So when we say that the problem of Nigeria is foundational, it is not just because we love to come and make noise and talk or blackmail or denigrate the country. No, these are facts. These are facts. The problem of the contraption is foundational, and there is no way you can tackle it without dismantling the foundation. Until you are prepared to dismantle the foundation, then we will know you are ready. That is why we call on Donald Trump. In as much as he's paying attention and speaking about the genocide in Nigeria, it is very nice. We appreciate it, but he should go extra mile to put action to work. And one of the major action he has to take to show seriousness is to end the contraption called Nigeria. Create nation along value system. Allow the North to practice their caliphate within themselves. Let them establish their caliphate happily within themselves and enjoy it. They are already enjoying it. Allow the Southwest or Yoruba people go ahead and establish the Yoruba Republic. Let the Biafran people go and establish the United States of Biafra for themselves. And let the Middle Belt go and establish their own nation. This is the sincere and genuine way to restore security, to save humanity, not just in Nigeria, in Africa and the world at large. If Nigeria is not disintegrated, I bet you what is being done is prolonging the day of doom. And that day of doom will definitely come. Not just because I said it. Many people have said the same thing on their conventional media, that Nigeria is sitting on a keg of gunpowder. Many people have used this language, Nigeria is sitting on a keg of gunpowder. But none of them is making a move to remove that keg of gunpowder, make sure it doesn't explode. They identify the problem. They know it's going to explode. It's a question of time it's going to explode. But removing it, the only way to remove it is disintegration. Without that, Nigeria is definitely going to explode. The world is only waiting for it to happen. And as we have always known, the United Nations is always late. They were late in Rwanda. They were late in Kosovo. They were late in Sudan. They were late in Biafra. And they are still going to be late again. It is high time people add their voice. Those that care about humanity. It doesn't matter your tribe, your location, your religion, if you care about humanity. A very serious thing is about to happen. Don't be silent. Add your voice. Speak whenever, wherever you can. It doesn't matter, even if it's one or two people that can hear you, it will go a long way. It doesn't take the whole world to change it. It takes one man to bring the change. In Nigeria today, corruption is a state policy. Corruption today in Nigeria is a state policy. That is why you will see a corrupt person will boldly come out and make a case. Even the corrupt person will drag you to court. The main corrupt people will be the first people to take you to, they will tell you to go to court. And they will use their corrupt system in the court to convict you. In fact, in Nigeria, it is the corrupt people that will first of all take you to court. They are the people that are quick to take you to court, the corrupt people. The judiciary is corrupt. The legislature is corrupt. And the executive is much more corrupt than you can ever imagine. So where does the hope of ordinary citizens lie? Look at the case of Mazen Nandekano. A case that is just clean and clear for itself. You see the judiciary going against its own laws. The judiciary going against its own verdicts. In the case of Mazen Nandekano, judiciary going against its own verdicts. The Senate sat down and they were watching. The lawmakers are watching the law that they made being misinterpreted and overruled. The legislature is watching, and they saw the law that they have repealed, a repealed law being used against somebody, and they did nothing. They sat back and they're watching. Corruption has become a state policy in Nigeria. Let me say this clearly. In Nigeria, corruption is not accidental. Corruption in Nigeria is not something that happened by accident. It is not. They say, oh, maybe it is done by mistake. Oh, maybe this person came in mistakenly. No. In Nigeria, corruption is institutionalized. It is institutionalized from the executive to the legislature to the judiciary. Corruption is institutionalized officially. From election to security budgets, from oil revenue to public contracts, corruption is built into the structure. Is built into that structure called Nigeria. That is why if you are preaching Nigeria, one Nigeria, I'm sorry. You can't be talking about Nigeria and you say you are fighting corruption. You don't want corruption. There is no way you can be supporting Nigeria and you say you are fighting corruption. It's not possible. It is not possible. It's just not possible. You are just I don't know how to explain it. It's only ignorant people that will believe you when you present yourself as a one Nigerian and you come and speak against corruption and you talk about and you say you want to fight corruption. Just like the one they look at the EFCC they created. Let's take, for example, the EFCC. The EFCC have produced the most corrupt individuals in Nigeria. The EFCC itself, the people that have led its EFCC are the most corrupt individuals in that contraption. And I'm going to give you an example. Starting from Nuhu Ribadu. Nuhu Ribadu today that they made the NSA, National Security Advisor, under a drug baron. Nuhu Ribadu, I think, was the first EFCC chairman. Economic and Financial Fraud Committee chairman, Nuhu Ribadu. And this man investigated, including Obasanjo, his boss. And during that time, this man investigated the person today that appointed him as NSA. And he came to a national television and told the whole world that this man is more than corrupt. He is corrupt. They said that he has become richer than some states. And he said in his interview that he has information to nail him for life. This was Nuhu Ribadu talking about his boss, Tinubu, today, while he was the EFCC chairman. Then, Tinubu was covered by immunity of the government, which is one of the fraud they put in place to secure their evil agenda. He exposed all the evil of Tinubu. He came and made a claim on national TV. The international media watched and saw him. He spoke about how corrupt the man that has become president today, the drug baron that became a president today, is. After that very humongous program, just in the recent years, the same corrupt person that he investigated became a president of the country. And now appointed him as National Security Advisor. What do you have to say about that? A corrupt man became a president and now appointed somebody that investigated him as National Security Advisor, NSA. What do you have to say about that? In recent years, many of them who has been in that EFCC office, they all always came out with the same accusation of corruption. They always come out with the same accusation of corruption. More especially in the time of Muhammad Buhari, you saw many of the EFCC boss indicted with crime and fraud. In most cases, just that when they play the ball and they overplay it and people notice, they will now use them as a scapegoat. We have seen that over and over and over again. So in Nigeria, corruption is not accidental, it is institutionalized. From election to security budget, from oil revenue to public contract, corruption is built into structure. And I'm going to play some videos today to show you what the zoo looks like. Both the one you are hearing today, the one they call Dangote, calling out another fellow criminal, that one is training his children with millions of dollars in foreign countries. That same man who is accusing another person is also a fraudster. He's also corrupt. These are a bunch of corrupt individuals that when you become corrupt than them, they get angry. It is a competition of who is more corrupt than the other. And the most corrupt person that is influential will now take his own power to suppress the less corrupt person to make sure that the corruption continues to improve. It is funny, but that is the system in Nigeria. Budgets are inflated. Projects are abandoned. Security funds are looted. And accountability is deliberately destroyed. Just recently, after the late Muhammad Buhari have stolen and stolen and stolen, then they put in a drug baron. In a sane country, you should expect the drug baron to investigate the missing funds. Lots of missing funds that were complained about during the time of late Muhammad Buhari. Lot of missing funds. But as it may be, they just keep silent. The only thing you hear is that when they want to use one as a scapegoat to make a point and divert the attention of the people, they will get one person, detain that person for some time to attract attention. Once the person fails to buy into their own idea or fall into their own group, they will use that person as a scapegoat, and you think they're investigating. There's nothing like investigation of corruption in Nigeria. Why? Because a corrupt system cannot survive transparency. A corrupt system cannot survive transparency. The moment Nigeria become accountable, many powerful people become criminals overnight. That is why they don't want accountability. There are people that don't want Nigeria to function, because if you create a stable and functioning nation, every one of them will become a criminal overnight. You will see how criminal-minded they are. When there is transparency, you will just wake up and you realize that you have been all this while, that the people that you are respecting, people that you think that are there for your benefit, are all bunch of gangsters and criminals. I wish that there can be just a one-day transparency. Open up the eyes of all the citizens of Nigeria to see what their government officials are doing. Only one day of transparency. The moment Nigeria become accountable, many powerful people will become criminals overnight. So corruption is protected in Nigeria. Heavily protected. Whistleblowers are punished. Today, there is one of the whistleblowers today that is still in jail in detention. There's a whistleblower that is still in detention today fighting for his life because he exposed the government corruption. In his own case, he exposed the guy that exposed the so-called Okususas. The Okususas that was involved in different kinds of human rights violation, organ trafficking. The man that released information and exposed him, that man is still in detention today for blowing the whistle. Even though investigation was done and they saw that the information that the whistleblower brought was correct, it was accurate, and Okosu SARS was closed down. But yet, the whistleblower is still in detention to date. The man that blew whistle about the atrocities happening in Okosu SARS in Anambra State. Okosu SARS was shut down because the information were accurate. The man ran away for his life to Cotonou. They went to Cotonou and they kidnapped this man and brought him back. And today, that man is still in jail. For many years now, he's still in jail. The man that blew the whistle, that shut down Okosu SARS in their corruption. Whistleblowers are punished. The truth is treated as an enemy of the state. Just like they are treating Mazen Nandekano. They call Mazen Nandekano enemy of the state. They call Mazen Simon Ekpa enemy of the state because they are speaking the truth. And they have succeeded in recruiting so many people online and offline. You see some idiots. They tell you, did you hear the broadcast of Mazen Nandekano? He was calling for that. Go and listen to the detailed program of Mazen Nandekano conduct his program for hours. 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. For you to get into a program of 4 hours, you take 1 minute of an address and you capitalize on that to call somebody name. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Why don't you take your time, go and listen to a whole broadcast? Just like the conviction of Mazen Nandekano, they tell you he broadcasted. Go and check every single broadcast he made during that NSAS time. Go and listen to it in whole. You understand what it was all about. It was all about self-defense. Because at that time, Nigeria opened fire on innocent citizens who were protesting. There was genocide going on. And Mazen Nandekano could not fold his hands. He is not in Nigeria to fight anybody. He was advising the people, protect yourself. You need to be alive. You need to be alive. If you want a better Nigeria, you need to be alive to have that better Nigeria. That was what the broadcast is all about. But they went and caught some portion of it to demonize him and make him look evil. Because Mazen Nandekano was speaking the truth, they treated him as an enemy of the state. Up to the extent of using those brokers to convict him and sentence him to life as an enemy of the state. The same thing they did to Mazen Simon Ekpa. He was asking the Biafrans to defend themselves, self-defense, which is their right. And Nigeria connived with Finland and criminalized self-determination, went ahead to sentence Mazen Simon Ekpa to 6 years. Today, Mazen Simon Ekpa is still fighting for his appeal. And I learned they pushed his appeal to August of next year. By August, Mazen Simon Ekpa must have spent 2 years already in detention. Almost 2 years already in detention. By August, Mazen Simon Ekpa is going almost 2 years already in detention. Tell me, where is the justice? Where is the justice? It is this same corruption today that have created the terrorism in Nigeria that can never stop. It doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter what you say. The terrorism in Nigeria today cannot stop because of the corruption that was put in place. At the root, at the foundation, I want you to listen carefully. Terrorism in Nigeria does not exist in isolation. It is not separate from corruption. The terrorism in Nigeria today, the genocide of the Christians, the genocide of the Biafrans you are hearing today, the genocide of the people in Nigeria that are hearing today, does not exist in isolation. It is not separate from corruption. Terrorism survives on stolen public funds. When you hear that a lawmaker is sponsoring the bandits, build a hospital for them, buy car for them, buy bikes for them, where does he get that fund? Where did he get the money? A public servant. You just had a public servant that is paying $5 million per year, $5 million per year for his children in school abroad. Where are they getting that fund from? Where did they get the money from? Stolen public funds. That is how terrorism survives. Stolen public funds. Compromised security agencies. That one we see members of the security agencies coming out to confess and speak about that, and yet you see people come to the national TV and they deny it. Something that security agents themselves they come out, they talk about it on national TV. One of the most popular one is the former chief of army staff, General Danjuma. If there is anybody that should have information in Nigeria, it is Danjuma. Danjuma have more than enough information. And he came out openly and told you that the military is colluding with the terrorists. You hear that and yet you must move. This Danjuma that is speaking is one of the corrupt idiots, one of the criminals. If a criminal among the criminals should come and give you this information, what else are you expecting to hear? Terrorism survived because of the corruption. Stolen funds, compromised security agencies, weak borders funded by corruption. Weak borders funded by corruption. Nigeria today don't have borders. The terrorists come in and out and move. They stroll in and stroll out. Nobody stop them. Nobody dare question them. You that is a genuine person, a legitimate citizen, they will question you at the border. But to the terrorists, nobody dare ask them. They have a free open border to go in and out anyhow they want, anytime, any day. We have officials who profit from chaos. The governors in the southeast today, every one of them profit in chaos. Because of security vote, they joined the government to destabilize the southeast. They joined the government to create chaos. They joined the government to take innocent life. When billions meant for security are stolen, soldiers are under-equipped. When intelligence is sold, intelligence are sold, security intelligence are sold. Terrorists escape. When you hear that a general was attacked by terrorists, captured and murdered in cold blood by terrorists, after he has escaped, he made a call, the call intercepted, he was captured and murdered. When you hear such and you are not moved, I don't know what else is going to move you. When intelligence is sold, terrorists escape. When justice is selective, criminals are protected, while the innocent languish in jail. When you see all these things, the only thing that is profitable in Nigeria is insecurity. Insecurity is the only thing that is profitable in Nigeria today. Insecurity is the only thing that is profitable to the politicians today, to the elites. Insecurity is profitable to them because it creates emergency budgets for them. It silences the opposition for them. It justifies repression. And it keeps the people in fear. That is why terrorism is never fully defeated in Nigeria and will never be defeated in Nigeria. Because to many people, it benefits them. To the elites, to the politicians, it benefits them. So if you are dreaming that terrorism is going to stop, dream no more. It is not going to stop. Ask yourself this question. How can a country spend decades fighting insecurity and never win? Ask yourself, how can a country in decades be fighting insecurity in its own territory? People that claim sovereignty. You have a sovereign state, you have your boundaries. You are fighting insecurity for decades and never win. How is that possible? Even when we know that one of generals have said that any insecurity that lasted more than 24 hours, more than 48 hours, it means that the government is aware. Officials of the government are involved. Government itself is involved. And that is what you see in Nigeria. The answer is simple. You cannot end insecurity in a system that feeds on instability. You cannot end insecurity in a system that feeds on instability. These are facts. We have to talk about this issue so that those who are having a hopeless hope should know where they should put their hope. Don't give yourself a hopeless hope. Put your hope on where things are going to work. Peace demands accountability. Security demands justice. And justice threatens corruption. As simple as that. So the chaos continues. Banditry, terror attack, kidnapping, criminal violence. Not because of Nigeria is incapable. Not that the country is not even about ammunition, weapon, or whatever. You don't have enough. No. That's not why. But because a corrupt system needs disorder to survive. Did you hear me well? The reason banditry, terror attack, kidnapping, and communal violence is everywhere is not because Nigeria is incapable. It's not because they can't equal it. Not because they don't have enough armed forces. Not because the only reason is because a corrupt system called Nigeria was put in place by the British needs disorder to survive. Without the disorder, Nigeria cannot survive. That British format will not work. So they need this very banditry, terror attack, kidnapping, communal violence. These information are very important. So you will know why we are calling for the end to this contraption. End it. That is where the solution lies. Once you end it, every interest will die a natural death, and people will begin to reason like humans. The cost of this madness is so much. That is why we are concerned. Our concern is about humanity. It is humanity that pays the price for this madness. The poor, the displaced, the unemployed, the forgotten, children without schools, community without protection, family without hope. That is what you see. While a few grow richer, millions grow poorer and poorer every day. What you see in the zoo is not governance. It is exploitation. And that is why we are calling to the end of the contraption called Nigeria. Create country along value system where people can choose their fate and establish a system that works for them. Not a system put in place by the colonial master to extort and to control. we will continue to speak the truth they fear most. The truth Nigerian ruling structure fear most is this: a corrupt system cannot be reformed. A corrupt system cannot be reformed. It must be dismantled. Did you hear me well? The only thing that will work is to dismantle Nigeria. It is not to reform. Anybody that's talking about reform, you see, that is where we disagree with Showore. It's where we disagree with Showore, who is talking about reform. That is his choice. He feels it will work. But we know very well that a corrupt system cannot be reformed. It must be dismantled for you to get it right. And how do you dismantle Nigeria? Break it up. Let everybody go back to whom they were. Create nation according to value system. The nation is already divided. It has already created itself. Nations have already broken out by themselves. Allow them to function. Make it official. Let the world weigh in. Peacefully make it official. Let the caliphate move in the corner. Let the Yoruba people go. The Biafrans go and the Middle Belt go their separate ways. You cannot cure a disease by managing symptoms. You must remove the cause first. Until corruption is confronted honestly. Until corruption is confronted honestly, terrorism will continue. Insecurity will expand. Trust will collapse. And the country will keep bleeding. There is nothing you can do about that. These are facts that you must embrace, whether you like it or not. You must embrace these facts, whether you like it or not. Sometimes it is very difficult for people to agree. It is very difficult for people to accept. But it doesn't matter. Whether you agree or not, they are facts. When you look at the news that are coming and the information that are coming, you will understand that the zoo can never survive. That is why those of us that are genuinely seeking to save humanity, that cares about human life, regardless your religion, regardless your tribe, regardless your location, we continue to call for the end to the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. We will continue to call to the end of it. One thing you should know, that Nigeria will never ever be redeemed. Look at, with this country of particular concern, CPC, disintegration of Nigeria, still yet, insecurity is increasing. The attack is increasing. In fact, the attack has been, it's as if they woke them up from the sleep. Even as of today, there is still attack today. Tomorrow there will still be attack. And this Christmas is going to be mine. Even after investigations, even after expositions, even when the US have sent people on the ground, they have given warning and talk, they are still continuing in the attack. So when we tell you that Nigeria can never ever be redeemed, it is not a joke. It is not because I'm a Biafran. It is not because I want Biafra. That's why I'm saying it. It is the truth and nothing but the truth. That Nigeria is irredeemable. Irredeemable. If it will be a country that will want to do things right, look at, with the pressure mounted by the United States, you should expect them today to go ahead and flush out all the terrorists because they can. The same people that went to Benin Republic and stopped a queue within a few minutes, these same people can be able to flush out the terrorists in their territory if they want to. But with all the pressure, they dare not go to that direction. They don't talk about it. Instead, they allow the terrorists to intensify in their attack. And I want you to hear this. Let us listen to this very report that is coming from another credible international organization on what is happening in the zoo. For you to know, when we say Nigeria is irredeemable, it is not a joke. But what we are asking is that this international body should go ahead and tell the world to come into the disintegration of the zoo. That is the lasting solution. As per all this trying to address, manage, you can't do anything. That's nothing that can be repaired. Let's listen to this. Or before we go to that, let us just have a short break. When we come back, then we can be able to play that very video. Let's have a very short break.
Of heaven, the very oldest language on the face of this very earth.
Because I can say that from what I have just listened from you, it is just not ordinary.
Very wonderful. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that
You're welcome back. Now, let us hear this latest report that is coming from one of the independent organizations that is focusing on the Christian genocide in Nigeria and is making many important dispositions. Let's hear the report they have.
Horrific update to share with you from Nigeria that would suggest not only is the genocide against Christians not slowing down, it's escalating. Well, Director of Equipping the Persecuted, Judd Saul, joins us now. Judd, what can you tell us?
Well, it's just heartbreaking to say this, but our organization obtained intelligence well over a week ago that the Fulani ethnic militia was gathering on the Nasarawa Plateau border, on the Nasarawa-Benue State border, and the Nasarawa-Kaduna border, and they are gathering as we speak. And we have intelligence that they're gathering, and they're planning to do major attacks over Christmas against Christians. And I was in Washington, D.C. last week, and I publicly announced that this was going to happen. And I specifically named the towns and the locations that they're planning to attack, which was Riom in Plateau State, Bokos, and Barkinladi in Plateau, and then also Kafachan region in Kaduna and the Agatu region in Benue. I said that publicly. I said that at a press conference. We have intelligence that this is where they're planning to attack. And I notified the Nigerian government. I notified the U.S. government. I said, we have very reliable intelligence that they're planning to attack these areas. And then just 2 days ago, they attacked Barkin Ladi, killing over 12, leaving several wounded and 3 missing. And we gave them advance warning that this is where they were going to attack, and the Nigerian government did nothing. In fact, President Tinubu himself acknowledged my terror alert and said it was lies. And now there is blood on the hands of the Nigerian government because they were warned.
Well, brother, let me ask you this: what else has been happening this week? Because I know that it wasn't just that attack.
It wasn't just that attack. So in another area in Plateau, it wasn't listed in one of the communities. 4 children were slaughtered. They were having dinner and just out in an open compound having dinner, and Fulani came in and just killed the 4 children. A pastor was killed, and they kidnapped his wife. And then they killed 2 other farmers along the way during this attack. So right now, over 20 Christians have been killed in just the last 6 days, leading up to Christmas. And the attacks are going to continue and get worse because our intelligence says they're gathering, they're massing up, they're planning to kill a lot more during this Christmas season.
Okay, so Judd, we've obviously been highlighting the work of Truth Nigeria and your incredible reporters on the ground. And the thing that we keep hearing most in the comments, aside from prayers, aside from standing with you, doing with whatever we can, why is no one doing anything about this? Why do we keep having these updates with Masara and with Mike and with whoever? Why is no one stopping? Why is no one intervening? Why is nothing being done? And these comments are like, CBN, do something. I don't know, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm in San Diego. I just got a microphone here. And so people are obviously, and probably no one more than you, unimaginably frustrated when we just see the massacre of Christians in Nigeria, and no one's doing anything. So like, Judd, as someone who probably not many people on planet Earth are more involved, more plugged in, more aware of what's happening right now than you. So why is no one doing anything?
As an organization at Equipping the Persecuted, we're doing everything we can do. Unfortunately, within legal capacity, all we can do is respond. After attacks occur, we're there with aid. We're there helping the victims. With the 12 that got killed, we sent money to help cover the cost of their burials. We're paying for the cost of the wounded and all those wounded medical costs, trying to save their lives. And then there's families that have been affected, so we're trying to help the victims of those attacks. That's what we do on a regular basis, is respond to the attacks and help those who've been persecuted. But what we've been trying to do with Truth Nigeria and as an organization is work with village security teams and putting out these terror alerts and trying to save as many lives possible. I'm saying as an organization, we're doing everything within our power to help persecuted brothers and sisters on the ground. But it's going to take more than what we can do, and that is government intervention. That is for the Nigerian government to stop being complicit in the killings and to start protecting the Christians in their country. Because right now the Nigerian government is totally complicit. And the U.S. government, if Trump is true to his words and says, we're going to go in guns a-blazing and make sure the killing of Christians stops, it may come to that. But intervention needs to happen now. Otherwise, we're going to have more dead bodies over Christmas. But as an organization, we are doing everything we can legally to save lives. And that's at equippingthepersecuted.org if those, want to help and do that. But the thing is those of you watching, you have to get on your phones. You have to call Trump administration. You have to call your congressmen and senators and say, we need action now in Nigeria, because the Nigerian government is not taking this seriously.
Well, I applaud everything that you're doing, obviously, Judd. Yeah, I thank God that you and your organization exist. But, Masara just sent me some photos of charred, and that's what I'm going to use, charred corpses of children. And I looked at my phone the other day. I'm like, and I have 3 young boys. I gotta, wow. I'm scared to look at my phone. And then these are photos sent across the world. You know, I can't imagine actually being there. So let me ask you this, and this I'm sure this will get under your skin. What do you say to people that say there is no genocide of Christians happening in Nigeria?
If they deny the genocide in Nigeria, they have blood on their hands, because you're being willfully ignorant, and you are ignoring the facts. And the facts don't lie. The dead bodies don't lie. The number of dead certainly don't lie. Neither does the number of destroyed churches lie. What you don't see is Muslim communities being completely wiped off the map. You don't see Muslim mosques being destroyed and wiped off the map like you are Christian communities. This is a systemic genocide, and I'll tell you this, there is a very well-funded propaganda machine from the Nigerian government paying a lot of people, even Americans, to hold the narrative that there's no Christian genocide. And if you fall for that nonsense, you are falling for a lie, and you need to go repent of it.
Amen. Amen. Well, Joe, let me ask you this. Let's say, by chance, the President of the United States is watching this video right now. What would your message to him be?
President Trump, if you are serious about what you said about protecting Christians in Nigeria,
if you're serious,
now is the time to act and use the resources at your disposal to intervene on behalf of our persecuted brothers and sisters in Nigeria. They need all the help they can get. The Nigerian government is worthless, and they are complicit in the attacks. You cannot trust them.
Amen. Straight to the point. Well, my brother, I know you're a busy man. I'll give you the floor for anything else that you want to say, just because obviously your voice is so important, so crucial to this horrific genocide. I mean, let's not mince words. So I'll give you the platform. In closing, Judd, is there anything else that you want to say?
I would like to encourage all of your listeners to please add the plight of the persecuted brothers and sisters in Nigeria to your prayer lists. Pray for them every day. And pray for our team, the Truth Nigeria guys, and our equipping the persecuted staff that's on the ground. Pray for their safety as they go into very dangerous territory to bring relief to our persecuted brothers and sisters. And please, please, please take action. Support us, equippingthepersecuted.org, and then call your congressman and senator and say enough is enough. Intervene on behalf of persecuted Christians in Nigeria now.
Judd Saul, I appreciate your time, my friend. God bless.
Thank you, sir.
You can see you've had there's an international organization that is making a very great move to secure lives in your contraption called Nigeria. For those of you who are still supporting their Nigeria, you can see him. He was very blunt in what he said, and I agree with him. If Donald Trump is serious in protecting the life, this is the time. There's no point wasting time. The more you waste time, you are giving them more time to prepare themselves and recruit. And you can see what they are doing. Even in the United States, they are paying people to deny the atrocities of the government in Nigeria. So when we talk about the systemic corruption, Nigerian corruption is systemic and you cannot stop. There is nothing you can do to stop it. The only thing you can do to stop it is to dismantle Nigeria itself. If you don't dismantle Nigeria, you are only putting a deodorant. After the deodorant is off, it will still surface. The smell will still surface. Genocide that is very clear to everybody, even to the deaf and dumb. But Nigerian government is paying individuals. They are paying people. They are paying people to say there is no genocide. And you heard the call of that guy. In his Sunday speech, he said that the Nigerian government is worthless. It is worthless. Why must you continue to talk about a worthless entity, a shithole, disgraced country? Why must you be allowing? Why do you have to allow it to continue? You can't salvage it. You can't save it. If you care about humanity, about human life, regardless their religion, regardless their location, end that contraption. And I have said it time and time again that every region can secure themselves. When you break up Nigeria, every region can protect and secure themselves. They can produce for themselves. They can secure. They can be able to manage themselves. The only reason you are seeing this chaos is because people are being forced into an entity they didn't sign up, and they are using the federal minds to take away the strength of the people and give that strength to the terrorists. They take away the defense of the people and give the defense to the terrorists. And it will not stop
until you dismantle Nigeria. The corruption in Nigeria it didn't start yesterday. It started all the way from the British. They put that system in place and they handed it over to the locals. The only way to end it is to dismantle it. I am going to play another video to also show you the corruption of Nigeria. The corruption, the unstoppable corruption of Nigeria.
That money is gone. Forget it.
But so you know that money actually happens to be, it's higher than the whole debt Nigeria is owing. And they're saying
more
it's
than
even.
if we had that money now, Naira be $1 to $1. Since APC came into office, thank God they are the one revealing all these things. Thank God they are the one. Imagine the amount of money that have gone down the drain in Nigeria. I was thinking they would call on the Minister of Petroleum to come and explain why is it that all the presidents always wanted to be Minister of Petroleum. Why? They cannot be Minister of Agriculture. They cannot be Minister of Education. It's always Minister of Petroleum, all of them. And they are not even accountable.
Multiple administrations ignored it. This is the kind of fraud that keeps Nigeria poor, not PIT, or we never pay. This is why we are not like Dubai, Qatar, not because of our population. Lutunarians. Hello Nigerians, una hear what they hear? Una hear the trillions where they need from NNPC since trillions. It's like APC, they attack APC because the thing not too much. APC, they attack APC. They say trillions they miss for ages for NNPC. When they talk say this country, not because we don't pay tax, but because of corruption. Some boys when they seek for favor, they attacked me some time ago. Trillions. Before I even continue, make you watch the video.
That your country can possibly be taller than who planted it. Like I said one time, there are not a few people see NNPC as behaving as if they are the country, Nigeria is their parastatal. And so they are above the country. Now my worry is not about the fact that, looking at the period of coverage, it doesn't come under the present GMD. Yeah. But the fact that the GMD is anxious to cover up the fraud suggests that he may also want to continue with business as usual. That is what troubles me. Because, like you rightly said, sir, being given the opportunity to come and explain what happened that you have inherited should be something you should do freely. But time and time again, the GMB is never going to come here. And those figures you mentioned, sir, about charging crude, subsidy on crude, and then NPC go on to charge subsidy on refined product. It's not just a matter of law. That is, the real word for it is fraud. Monumental fraud. And the amount involved is far more than what our president is struggling to borrow from foreign countries. If those monies were here, we don't go to borrow this kind of money. So just to thank you, Mr. Chairman, I think we are all in agreement with you. We need to make it clear that the the current constitution, 1999 as amended, gives this committee the power even to arrest the GMB of an NPC if it does not behave. And we have the will to exercise those powers. So that for once, people should know Nigeria cannot be, I want to quote President Tinubu himself, he said, no more excuses. Whether on issues of security, issues of abuse of power, anybody who is mismanaging so bit, we have a collective duty to bring the person to justice or bring justice to the person wherever he is. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Having exhaustively reviewed the answer by NNPC, 107 trillion, the equivalent of which in dollars is $117 billion. Against available facts and evidence provided by the same NNPC, which go contrary to their claim, the 107 trillion cash flow paid to JV partners in 2023. The committee is duty bound to reject this. Why the committee is rejecting this is that 103 trillion as accrued expenses. NNPC declared a revenue of 24 trillion naira between the year 2017 to 2022, the equivalent of which in dollars was $58 billion. And the same NNPC in 2023 alone claimed to have paid 103 trillion to their JV partners based on cash call. Two things here. One, cash call was abolished, so to say, if I may use that word, in 2026 by the president. But in 2016, sorry. Crude of 24 trillion. Now you are paying 103 trillion naira to your JV partners without telling us the quantum of crude that justified that payment. And how on earth can anybody give what he or she does not have? Where did NNPC get 103 trillion to have paid to its JV partners in only 1 year? Sir? $117 billion. So as far as this committee is concerned, that figure 103 trillion is unacceptable. It's not justified because cash call was stopped or abolished in 2016. And now in 2023, you are coming under the umbrella of cash call to say you had paid 103 trillion in just a year. So
you see the amount of money you are hearing from these people calling trillion. The money they are calling is not a small money. And it's all oil money from Biafra land. Individuals from the northern part of Nigeria that have been, they share it among themselves. They allocate it themselves. Every one of them that is sitting here, they're all criminals, all these ones. The only time they speak is that when you steal more than them, they get angry. Don't get it mixed up. Everybody that has spoken there, is it Adam Oshomole? Adam Oshomole is a criminal. But their problem is that when you steal more than them, they get angry. Every single one of them in that very video you saw, they are all bunch of criminals. Don't get mixed up. And their boldness to come out and speak about fraud is the boldness is what I don't understand where it's coming from. And the only thing that is giving them that boldness is the system in Nigeria. The system that promotes corruption. The system that was put in place through corruption by the British. A system that was put in place to make sure that the stealing of the resources continues. To make sure that the enslavement of the people continues. As long as you are willing to operate that system, they will give you a free hand to steal. Even as a fraudster and a criminal, you will become whatever you want to be in Nigeria. That is what we see play out. That is the same that is playing out in the one that you see Dangote. Dangote calling out one of those NNPC boss. And that one has not resigned. Some of you will think that he resigned because he didn't resign because he's genuine. He resigned because of an agreement that was reached to save his head. No Nigerian person can resign for any accusation in Nigeria. It has never happened. From Dangote that is calling out to, they are all a bunch of criminals. And I want you to see this one. Let's watch this one.
Can Dangote tell us the source of his money in the 80s when he was in Port Harcourt? Who is clean? Every time when you want to monopolize, you bring issues, allegations against people. Let him come and prove it. In the 80s, we are aware of what happened in Port Harcourt, how he got his money. Nobody came out and say all these things.
But why is Farouk silent up to this moment?
You see, it's
because
unfortunate.
he was the first person to fire the salvo. I asked this question. When the refinery, 25%
Dangote refinery, he said it before, he was producing 40%. The FCC in its refinery, the fluid catalytic cracker that will make it about 80% or 90% is not working. Farouk said it before, and we reiterated it. So if you are producing 40%,
that wasn't true.
Who says so?
Some of us were at the refinery.
What?
Some of us were at the refinery. We saw it.
You are not you don't know anything about refinery. If they tell you lies,
but he also fired. He also fired at the Nigerian midstream that they don't even have laboratory.
Who told you that? You see now you are peddling as a journalist.
No, not
you
really.
You need to do an investigative journalism.
Where is their lab,
not
sir?
Somebody is telling you and now you are believing him. It's wrong.
He showed journalists his own.
That what?
His lab where he tests.
Did he show you how he produces? How the production takes place in his refinery and that is producing more than 50 million liters per day?
I don't want to play the devil's advocate.
So please don't do that. I'm an insider and I'm an engineer.
But how inside are you, sir? How inside are you? Now he has been making the allegation that both the government, which you said should be transparent, and the regulator, which is headed by
how much did Dangote give to you? How much did he give to you that you are supporting?
Nothing. I'm just
because the way you are asking these questions,
no, I'm not supporting him, sir.
You see, when we say these things, all of them, they make their argument. When it suits them, they argue. This is how they come on national TV to defend evil. You see the way he attacked this journalist now. he asked him a pure and normal question. Why are you basing your argument on what you are told? Why don't you do your own investigative journalism? You come on national TV to defend what a man have told you as his own side of view, and you take it as a fact. And you, based on that, you are denigrating and challenging those who have come forward without your own personal and proper investigation. This is what you see in Nigeria every day. In all their presentations, in all their media, they do it over and over and over again. And this is not an exception. But when it comes to the Biafran people, they do it more. They do it more. Push their program like Abati is doing in Arise every day. Whenever you mention Igbo to Abati or you mention Biafra, he will bring out all his venom, condemn it, criminalize it, make it a criminal issue, make it violent, and they do it every time on their media, even though they can't even investigate. Look at the Christian genocide. Bring it up. They will sit in their studio and tell you what somebody told them, what somebody told them. You, as a media personnel, you're supposed to have your own independent investigation. And when you are speaking, you say, I investigated, or my media investigated. We had a correspondent on the ground. You can never hear them say that. Bunch of idiots.
It's wrong. If you don't know nothing, you don't need to say anything about you don't know nothing.
But let me be frank. So, even Farouk, we said, okay, take us. Let's see where you now check the quality of the products being imported.
See, there is no country who doesn't import. America imports, Saudi Arabia imports, China imports. There are countries with 200 refineries, 100 refineries, they still import. For you to measure up, to bridge up the gap. How can you, when he came, he even went to court that those importing petroleum products should be stopped. It has never done all over the world.
So, okay, sir.
So,
now,
because of monopoly.
He has brought the price. If monopoly will favor the citizens, he brought the price of petrol from 828 to 699.
It's supposed to be 400. 400. Because we give him crude 12 verses every day, sheep, every.
You see, these people are very funny. I just played this short clip for people to know when Dangote brings himself and presents himself as a savior and messiah, some people also buy into it. And that is the ignorance of many people in that historical. There are so many things that are not being talked about, but we know that these things are nothing but lies. That is why we do not support them, we do not follow it up on them, and we will not appreciate them. All we know is that let the contraption called Nigeria be ended completely. And once you end it, you can build a nation that is based on respect for humanity. A nation where people that have the same value system can be and create a country that is going to favor everybody, not for a certain group of people or certain set of people. Not a nation where you have people that are sacred cows. Some people who will be given special privileges. No. We want a nation where everybody will be respected, everybody will be beneficiary, and things will be done accordingly. That is all we are asking for. And until that is done, we will continue to ask for the disintegration of the contraption called Nigeria, because it is the only legitimate way to save innocent life in that contraption. Continue to run away from it for decades. At the end of the day, we are going to come back there. And that will be the only solution. Now, let us go to some certain update that we have before we round up. Here it says, Tinubu presents 54.7 trillion Nigerian 2026 budget, gives largest share to defense security. As if something is going to change. Conflicting revenue figures under Tinubu government spark controversy over fiscal transparency. It is not new. This is just a way they share the money in the country. It is not, they are whatever they call budget or whatever doesn't have meaning to an ordinary person. NAFDAC allowed Nigerians on recall of Indomie vegetable flavor noodles over undeclared allergies. Death penalty for kidnappers. This one says death penalty for kidnappers, terrorists will worsen insecurity in Nigeria. Tinubu government tells lawmakers. You can imagine. Tinubu government himself is saying that death penalty for kidnappers and terrorists will worsen insecurity in Nigeria. You can imagine what Tinubu government said. God have mercy. Ekiti Teaching Hospital dismisses surgeon after secretly removing patient's kidney. That's what you see in Nigeria. Secretly removing patient kidney. You see. It is sad. A surgeon removed patient kidney. Former Senator Peter Nwa-Obosi dies at 68. Tinubu vows to deliver renewed hope agenda to Nigeria with barely 2 years left. Very funny people. Tinubu designates bandits as terrorists, vows no mercy to violent criminals. Tinubu designates bandits as terrorists, vow no mercy to violent. These people are terrorists right from time. Designating them now is just kind of because of the pressure from the US. You just want the US to see that maybe you are doing something. It doesn't make any sense. Boko Haram has been there for many years. What have you done? When you couldn't face Boko Haram, is it the bandits you're going to face? Tinubu designates bandits as terrorists, vows no mercy to violent criminals. Let me Tinubu here. Nigerian Air Force personnel freed by Burkina Faso government arrive in Ghana. This is a picture of them. You know, before they told us they freed them, and later on we heard they have not been freed. Now we hear again they freed them. I hope this time they are freed. I hope this time they are free, because if they're not freed, we are still going to come back and say they never freed them. Oh, this one now, they took pictures and they showed us the 11 Air Force crew that we are detained in Burkina. They said they have been freed. Okay. Right group raised alarm over plot of fresh attack during Christmas season. Asked Tinubu to protect IDPs and churches. He will not do so. The attack is already happening. He will never do so. Alteration of Tax Reform Acts. SATA demands transparency, suspension of implementation. Amnesty International condemned brutal assault on Gombe councillor by governor's aide over alleged criticism. This one is not a story. Amnesty International, they are only talking, but they never do anything. Lawless Nigerian Navy officer brutalized woman in Lagos in husband's presence during dispute with mechanic. You can imagine. That's what Nigeria is all about: brutality, force, abuse. That is the order of the day in the zoo. Ghana High Commissioner confirmed ECOWAS petition over alleged harassment of Ghanaian investment, journal capital in Nigeria. They harass their own fellow Nigerian investment, talkers of Ghana. How Tanzania security forces use unlawful legal force on election protesters took away dead bodies. Amnesty International. Your own is just to talk, but whenever you bring your information, I have never seen the world take any action on Amnesty International reports. I never see any time action was taken. Nigerian Federal University Lokoja loses 200 level biochemical students to snake bite. Imagine. Debt servicing gulf 27% of 58 trillion Nigerian budget presented by Tinubu. 58 trillion Nigerian budget presented by Tinubu. 27% alone is taken by debt servicing. Servicing a lot payment to service debt, 27% already. Servicing of debt you don't carry. Not payment to Government closes major roads as Tinubu pays condolence visit to late Islamic scholar family. You see, Tinubu is going to pay a condolence visit to the family of the scholar that was killed. But a pastor has been murdered. The family are still in captivity up to today. Tinubu is doing nothing. Tinubu has not even sent any message about it. Tinubu has not issued a statement, but Tinubu is closing road. They close major road. Tinubu, major road, as Tinubu pays condolence visit to late Islamic scholars' family. The only reason Tinubu paid the condolence visit is because the guy is a Muslim. If he's a Christian, their life doesn't matter. The life of the Christians doesn't matter in Nigeria. And it is a very clear statement. If you like, you take it. If you don't like, it's up to you. This one said, my visit to Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto, not for political ambition. Abia Governor Oti replies to viral video. Governor Oti is saying that his visit to Nnamdi Kanu is not for political ambition. It is up to you. Whether for political ambition or not for political ambition, we don't care. We want Nnamdi Kanu to be freed unconditionally. However you people want to do it, go ahead and do it. We don't care about your political whatever you want to say. Our concern is that Nnamdi Kanu should be removed from that very Sokoto. That is all we care about. Over 2,500 prison staffs, mostly Nigerians, spared deportation as UK grants emergency visa extension. That is all they can do for you people. Court remands hoodlums linked to Enugu commissioners over attack on Mburubu community. Ondo University staff exposed threat to life of SSA-NU chairman, orchestrated by VC Prof. Adejuyegbe. Benue government set to distribute 1.27 billion private donations to Yelwata attack victims. We could see now, we could see how you want to share. If you don't go carry some food for your pocket or give people where they close to you. Benue government set to distribute 1.27 billion private donation. These are from private. Government has not done anything to this Yelwata people. Government, even to secure them, government has not done anything for them. Even security till today. But private people have been able to contribute 1.27 billion private donation to Yelwata attack victims. And I hope the money gets to them. I hope the money gets to them. They don't go and play politics with it. This one says, President Tinubu threatened to slash state allocation if governors refuse LG autonomy. I never see anything. This is all we got for today. I thank you so much for being part of the program. We must continue to push all these informations out there, no matter how difficult it is. I know it is a festive time. This is a festival time. Many of us are traveling. Many of us are busy with one thing or the other. Whatever you are doing, always remember that our freedom is non-negotiable. Whatever you are doing, remember that the freedom of the Biafran people is non-negotiable. We will continue to speak. Wherever you find yourself, speak whenever you can. Wherever you find yourself, speak whenever you can. Don't allow anybody to distract you, even when people are against you. When they call you names, don't allow fear or disappointment to make you to walk away from what we are doing. Continue to make your innermost contribution. Only Chukwu Okike Abịama will reward you. And remember, whatever you are doing it for yourself, not for anybody. If you do good, you do yourself. You do bad, you do yourself. So wherever you are, my fellow Biafrans, I want you to understand that this broadcast is not just information. It is a call to awareness. The program I'm doing is not just information. It is a call to awareness to everyone that cares about humanity, Biafrans and non-Biafrans. Everyone across the world that cares about humanity. our program is not just information, it is a call to awareness. And I urge you to refuse silence, reject lies, expose corruption, demand accountability, because the moment people understand the system begins to collapse. That is why we create this awareness, so that people will understand the situation and know that the only solution remains disintegration. If you believe corruption is the root of Nigerian insecurity, the root of Nigeria abuse of human rights today, the root of Nigeria genocide that we are talking about, like and share this broadcast to our platform. Drop your own comment on the comment section. Truth spread faster when the people speak. When the people add their voice and speak, the truth will spread faster. That is why you must continue to speak. Don't buy the lies. Don't speak lies. Don't speak lies. Speak the truth and share it. Because the truth spread faster when the people speak. Nigerian problem is not the people. The problem is the system. The problem is the system. It is not the people. Most of the time you see people divert their attention on the people. They divert the attention. They tell you, oh, Nigerian people. It is not the people. It is the system that was put in place by the British from the origin. And they put people to manage that system. For us to dismantle that system, that is the only way to bring sanity to the soul. So I appreciate every one of you that have been with us on this program. I thank you for listening. Thank you for staying awake with us. Stay informed always, and wherever you are. I wish you Merry Christmas in advance. Don't ever give up, no matter how difficult it is. Continue to air your opinion. Continue to add your own quota. Biafra is possible, and we shall overcome. Thank you so much, and stay blessed. See you again next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
The very oldest language on the face of this very earth. Chiko kikabia mapuni ngani chineke ngende sona efewe na bisala nyina ina koza hanso ya mbuni ngani na jama we ngani anyana ge farusi obona nege ole kali ngani ngekele kemo ngani obia mnendi nden so na kiri na bisala ni obadi ndo no totua e yaba no wanene rebu mo Because you will make a difference with your source and no more and we're not going to
But you know what? I would like you to believe that someone is the cause of this. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not. I have come. Look what you do. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what happens in 5 years to come. Thank you.
Any